fellow collector Shuki here with a review of the Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger DX Ryusoul Ken, the sword weapon that all of them carry because they're knights, and knights use swords. That's how things work. This was released in March 2019 for about $45 US or so, is I think for 4,800 yen, I think, standard retail price, depending on when and where you picked it up, but most places have it cheaper. So the Tsuyo Soul that is included is up top right there, and right there, Ryusoul Sword right there, the Ken right there, otherwise known as Sword. For those that don't know by now, Ken is Sword in Japanese. I just want to take a minute to talk about how cool the armor bits that the Ryusoulgers get when they use the auxiliary Ryusouls. I think that's really cool. It's a nice little twist on just things giving abilities. So I think that's pretty cool. All the functions right here on the back. Nothing too crazy, but this is the big kind of flagship toy of this line. Usually it's the changer, but this time around it is the weapon. The weapon can read, I think, about 100 different Ryusouls. Whether they actually make that many or not, I don't know. But I can read up to that many. So while the changer can only read a couple, this one is the one that will read them all. So if you want to pick up one item, this is probably it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get this open and take a look. And of course, before we begin, have to look at the Tsuyo Soul itself. So very much a kind of T-Rex-ish like face. It might be an Allosaurus. I don't know, it's really hard to tell with these ones because they're not labeled, so you just kind of have to go off of looks. But another carnivorous dinosaur. It's got pointy teeth. That means eat meat. So nice white color for this one. On the back here you have, like all of the auxiliary Ryusouls are going to have, a generic knight helmet. So whereas the transformation ones all have different helmet designs for Kishiryu, all the auxiliary ones just have a generic face because they're not really meant to be used with the robot. Still can, but they just don't really do anything super cool. They just end up looking like that. Shield is also kind of generic. This one's a little bit of a generic one. A lot of the other ones in the Ryusoul sets look a lot cooler, but it's got some spiky bits here. It's got a nice, I don't know what type of sword this is, but it's swords that have like little mini swords sticking out of them. Little spikes, but pretty cool. And again, this is the same design of Ryusoul that we're going to get for most of the auxiliary Ryusouls. Are all going to just be with a different sticker on the shield and a different weapon. So this part's different, and then the sticker's different, but everything else is pretty much going to be the same no matter which one you get. This is number 23 for the Ryusouls. B023. B meaning it's DX. G will probably be Gashapon, and C will be Candy Toy. It's generally what they do, but sometimes they switch the letters around, but there you go. So pretty cool. I do want to show this off in the changer real quick. The changer will pretty much read all of these the exact same, unfortunately. But here we go. And again, I can't actually do this right because I'm still not used to this. There we go. And again, it just doesn't ever work for me. There we go. So there's a generic Ryusoul call. You can see it through the screen there, which again is pretty cool. So EK is go, so it's just basically like go soul, and that's it. Pretty much every auxiliary is going to be the same in the changer, but we will do it all the time because if I don't, everyone's going to complain. So let's get on with the actual sword. All right, and here it is. It's okay, to say the least. It is on the shorter side. It's about 14 inches or so, give or take, so a little bit over a foot. But yeah, so like if you can find a prop maker that will extend this blade out, this part right here is just rubber. This part is plastic because there's LEDs in here. So I guess if the prop maker is really good and you can find a way to remove this rubber part and extend that outward, you can probably make a pretty decent prop out of this because it is a good toy. It's just not a big toy. So this is more like the Ryusoul dagger as opposed to the Ryusoul Ken. But at the very least, it is a kid's toy, and you have to remember that first and foremost. Feels okay in the hand. I got pretty tiny hands, but I can hold it just fine, albeit a little bit of an overlap down there. So you bigger hand folks might have a little bit of problems holding it because the handle is rather small. But the big chunk where all the electronics is nice and hefty, and that is where all of the action is. You got gold paint up here. This is just kind of gray plastic. Do have a little bit of silver paint throughout the teeth, though. But all in all, pretty nice looking, if I do say so myself. Eject button for the souls is right here. On and off switch is right here. Battery compartment is right here. It does take 2 AAAs. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and snap that on. So it does tell you what the toy is in case you forgot. But the LEDs are very bright in here, which is always a nice little treat. So just generic sounds there. If you hold the button down, nothing happens whatsoever. But when you let it go, you get a sound. So yay. This does open to insert the Ryusouls, which we will do, just not right this second, because it does something cool if you don't have a Ryusoul in and you move this up and down like 10 times. But when you open it, it does kind of reveal like the eye right there, which I think is really cool. A nice little touch. And then when you close it, it just becomes the full red eye. So I dig that. It's kind of neat. It burps because it eats things. Yay, bunnies. Yeah, so that is, it burps. Because what is a sword that eats things without burping? So here is the Tsuyo Soul. Just kind of slots right in there. The rails to read are probably not visible on the camera, but they're right there, inside there. So you just kind of slot them in, feet first, into the mouth of the hungry dinosaur. And then close it up. You do have to press this down. The toy does lock, so you do have to press this down. So it will announce what soul you inserted, and now it will play a new sound. Orara, because it's strong. Tsuyo, I didn't actually say that. Tsuyo Soul is strong soul. Tsuyo being strong. So you can annoy people with that, should you so wish. To activate the armor bit on the arm, because that's where it goes. Arm on the armor. Open this up, close it, and you gotta do it again. Now you get a standby sound, music that I actually dig quite a bit. So you do have to open and close the mouth multiple times. I guess it needs to chew the soul up before you can actually activate it. But now, once that's done, you will have the armor bit on your arm, and this does make an attack sound. So there you go. And of course, there's a final attack sound as well. So if you do this again 2 times, you get a new one and the light show. Always an accommodating light show. Now you got another sound. Press the trigger. And that is the full attack for the Tsuyo Soul. And we hold the button down. So they all do that. It's nothing crazy, but all the extra sounds will be through there. So all the auxiliary ones are going to say the Hi So Ryusoul, the name of the soul, and then a sound associated with it. So they're all going to do something like that. And the best part about this entire thing is the eject button right here. Look at the vigor in which this shoots out. I love it. It just vomits out this Ryusoul. It's really cool. This is what thrills me, guys. So let's take a look at the red Ryusoul. This is the one that comes with the changer. And they all do different things. So, like, this is the one that comes with the changer. The one that comes with Kishiryu will say slightly different sounds in this. And then the candy toy one, I think, actually says different sounds in this as well. And then the one that comes with the CD says something different too. So no matter how many red Ryusouls you get, they're all going to be slightly different from each other. So, yay, more sounds. Let's pop that in. Red. Generic sounds. So just generic attack for the transformation souls. So like this one is just Red's final attack. It's nothing superb or anything. And there's no activation in this one as well. It just goes straight into the attack function because it doesn't summon like an armor. Holding down the button for Red. To get a little phrase and Ryusoul Red. And finally, we also have the Hajimari node Ryusoul, the Ryusoul Beginnings. Do you want to show that one off as well? So it'll say the name of the show. And just another final attack sound for that. And holding down the button for the Hajimari no Ryusoul. Okay. But it did have a different call announcement. So we'll go over all these souls in this as we get them. So we've got a long year ahead of us, to say the least. But that is it for the functions of this. Like I said, this is a toy that will not be going away anytime soon as sort of the flagship toy of this line. We're going to be seeing it plenty to come as we get more of these nifty little knight dudes. So that is that. Definitely one to recommend. Like I said, it is a flagship toy, so it's kind of like if you're going to get one noisemaker in this line, as much as I always think the changer is like the cool toy to have, this one is the one that reads everything. So this is definitely the one to get. Even if you aren't usually a weapon collector, they kind of made it to where you have to buy the weapon toy this year. Otherwise, you're losing out on a lot of playability of these guys because the changer just doesn't have that this go around. So they know how to get your money. They really do. So that about is it for the Ryusoul Ken. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care and have a great one. Bye.